What is up, party people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers Daily World Cup edition. The group stage is in the books. And we've had some very, very, very late drama last night. So late, in fact, I may or may not have passed out for that. But Algeria and Austria playing an absolute World Cup classic. And unfortunately, it has sent Iran home that game. That's very, very sad stuff. Of course, Messi coming off the bench, breaking even more records, 7 straight World Cup finals games with a goal, and of course, extending his lead at the top of the goal scorer list. The Congo with a massive, massive win over Uzbekistan to send themselves through. Africa with 9 nations in the knockout stages. What an accomplishment. And the game we all thought was going to be absolutely incredible. Perhaps another robbery, or was it the toenail this time that got Colombia offsides for that 1-goal 0-0 there? England, woof, ugh, not looking great, but get the win anyway. And Croatia defeat Ghana to settle their spot versus Portugal in the next round. And of course, we will be looking at today's only game. Only one game today, fans. South Africa versus Canada. And of course, I got my man Asif in the building. How you doing?
Yeah, a bit tired. As you know, Jake, it was a long day yesterday with all the games. Yeah, I had to catch up with the Algeria game because I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep after the Colombia game. So,
Oh, yeah, I fell asleep as well. There's no doubt
but
about that.
um, but yeah, some of those games yesterday, like you say, I don't know which one you want to start off on, but yeah, so there were
Let's
some.
start with England. We can start with England. We'll get it out of the way. Oh my God. What a horrendous first half. We'll just start there. It was not good in the first half.
It was absolutely shit. I'm not gonna lie, it was a sting fest. You could tell
I could
Panama came
smell
in
it
with
from here.
when I saw the clean sheet, the team sheet, sorry, I saw it and I was like, yeah, they're definitely going for the same sort of game plan as Ghana and just think it out. And yeah, that's basically what they came to do. Luckily, it didn't work. Um, England managed to get through it, which was good. I thought the tactics were questionable, let's say, from Tuchel. Um, I think I don't know what he's playing at with. I think anyone would know, especially with Reece James injury record, to always should have another recognised right back, and he didn't. And I thought that was absolute stupidity on his part, on his squad selection. I said that before the tournament, and he had Kwanzaa playing there, and unfortunately, he's got injured as well.
Jesus, yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't play the double pivot. I think when I saw the line up, I thought, why is he playing Bellingham there? But luckily, Bellingham was further forward.
He did push up a little bit
Yeah,
eventually. You were calling for that the whole game, and like eventually he did.
yeah. Eventually, he did. Luckily, I was yeah. Um, and when he did, he actually came. Yeah, he came up trumps. I thought it was a good move to get Saka on and Rashford on. He did take Saka. You could see he substituted Saka um, after we got ahead
Yeah.
because obviously we got some games coming up. But what they should have done, in my personal opinion, once we're 2-0 ahead, they should have gave Kane a bit of a breather as well.
Right.
But he didn't do that either, which I thought was stupidity on his part. We've got decent strikers on the bench, as Tony, for example, hold the ball up. If he didn't want another in the box predator, he could have just got Tony in. You hold the ball up, get the other players in. He could have done that, but he didn't. And I think, yeah, tactically he was all over the place. we got the result, but I don't think it was the result we should be beating teams like Panama by.
It wasn't the performance. I mean, I think the results, whatever, but it definitely wasn't the performance at all that you need.
That's what
Doesn't
I mean.
inspire
Even
confidence going into the next game.
Even at the end, it wasn't. They were still attacking us, and they could have nicked a goal. Basically, Konza, I've been calling for it as well. He looks shaky at the back.
Yeah.
So that's another one I would not be playing. Yeah, he looks shot. If anyone runs at him, he doesn't know what to do.
He goes for a Mortal Kombat kick.
Yeah, he's I think against a higher level team, he's going to be found wanting. Even though he's got Premier League experience, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm not happy with that performance. They need to, especially Congo are going to stink the place out. And they're a lot better at stinking it out. They're a lot like Ghana, Congo.
And they have a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Yohan Wissa. They have somebody scoring goals.
Who actually plays in the Premier League as well. So, Wissa.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka is on the Congo team, so he'll be familiar with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll be. I'm sure the coach will be picking his brains. Bissaka 1-on-1 against most of those guys. I don't think we're going to get any luck against him again.
No, he's been very good. He's been very good this tournament.
I think his problem is he's not an attacking right back, but his defensive work is brilliant. I don't think many people get past him, and I think Rashford knows this. He's played against him in the Premier League, so I think it's
they've played against each other in practice a million times. Rashford and Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. So Bissaka knows how to play against him as well. So it's gonna be, that's gonna be funny. But if I were England, I would prepare for another Stinkfest. That's not going to be an entertaining game. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not even going to pretend that it's going to be an entertaining game. It might even go to extra time. It might even go to penalties. Jake.
Man, I can already hear all the English fans blaming this World Cup on Arsenal. I can already hear it. People saying, England looks so much like Arsenal, and this Arsenal did this to the league, and now England look like shit where everybody's stinking it out versus them, and they can't break down low blocks.
I don't think it'll be an Arsenal thing. I think it'll be more of a Tuchel thing. I think from what I'm hearing over here.
I hope so.
Because everyone's those tactics, I don't know what he's been doing. Those tactics were, I'm not a fan of his tactics whatsoever. I thought first game, he tactically got it wrong. The first half, switched it up a little bit, and that it was just basically that second half of that game, and basically 10 minutes of this game. It
was 10 minutes, pretty much.
Yeah,
Jude Bellingham in the 62nd, Harry Kane in the 67th. So it was only 5 minutes between the goals, actually.
And then there was, but before that they were playing a little better.
Yeah.
So which is why I say 10 minutes. But the rest of that game, they stunk it up. Even at the end, Panama were attacking us. So I'm not happy. I think we should be doing a lot better. I think some of these tactics, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I really don't. And why would you start with a double pivot against that? I would have seen, me personally, I would have seen that that team sheet. I would have been like, Bellingham, you're starting in number 10. I would have just done that straight away as soon as I saw that team sheet, instead of doing that double pivot and then messing around for one half. And I was just like, you idiot. You saw me going spare, Jake. You're that child. Yeah. Like, an idiot. What the hell is he doing?
So three things in this game for me. 2 good and 1 not so great. The first thing, and these are probably 2 of the best things for England in this game. Number 1, Declan Rice got to rest. He didn't play at all. So that's probably the best thing you can take away from this game. Number 2, the second best thing you can take away from this game, That was a fire kit, man. That red, like navy blue and then red socks. I thought that was awesome. I really loved that uniform. It looked really cool. I was a fan of that
I saw
uniform.
Panama in white and I saw them and I was like,
It's
hold on a
weird, yeah.
second. Yeah.
At the beginning, I was a little confused. I was like, is England wearing white today? The whole white. Wait a minute. No. That's not it. Wait a minute.
Because Panama usually wear red and it's
Yeah.
England who usually wear white, which is
Yep.
why I was.
Yeah. And so those are the two best things of that game. I mean, I guess you could say Harry Kane has passed Gary Lineker on the World Cup goals list. He's up to 11 now, I think. Good for you, buddy. But other than that, like what this does, and this is my other thing that's not so great, is that England going into a game versus the Democratic Republic of Congo, with all due respect, should be expecting a 5-0 thrashing. But the performances we've seen and the tactics we've seen have left English fans such as yourself a little bit worried, a little bit like, oh, this is not the walkover that you should be expecting. And that's kind of where the mood is after these two performances versus Panama and Ghana.
It's, yeah. They did a job on Portugal. So I'm expecting them to do a job against us. Portugal have a much better midfield than us. I'm going to be I'm a fan, but I'm realistic. They have probably the best midfield in the world. I don't think any other, even the French midfield, I don't think can compare to them.
Fair enough.
And they stifled them. So yeah, I could see this stinking that game out. I'm gonna check the scores, but I'm not gonna watch that game.
Yes, you are. Get out of here. Yes, you will.
It's gonna be yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be Arsenal versus Hull City next season, where it's just Ipswich Town just sitting back, everyone behind the ball, and every now and again, Johan Wissa will go forward.
If that moron starts with a double pivot again, I will go ballistic. That's all I'm gonna say.
But who gets sat for the game? Like, I mean, are you gonna sit Anderson?
No. You pay. This is what you could do is in-game management. So Rice can play further forward.
Yep, we've seen that all season.
Yeah. So,
Mom says go Hull City.
So you can do that, or there's certain things you can do, or you can you can change the formation as well. You don't need to play. You can play one behind them and then play Rice further up instead. You don't have to play to a double pivot. It's not.
Well, would you rather have Rice at the back of a true six with Anderson and Bellingham in front of him?
I'd have Anderson at the back and have and I'd have Rice in midfield and I have Bellingham just behind Kane.
He's never going to do this. Tuchel will never do this, but for me, I would sit Elliot Anderson, play Declan Rice as your six, and play two real attackers in the like Rodgers or Eze with Bellingham in front of Rice.
Yeah,
he's not going to do that.
He's never going to do it. He
ain't going to do that. He won't drop Anderson apparently.
Yeah, he won't drop Anderson. Yeah, it's going to be another ball fest basically, and I can't really see. I personally, like I was saying yesterday, I'd get Watkins off the bench. I'd have to drop maybe. I'd drop one of them from Rice or Anderson. It'd probably be Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'd play Watkins just for the fact that you get more movement from Watkins around the box. And with Rodgers, if you have Rodgers behind and them two playing number 10, you got Rodgers feeding him, you got Bellingham feeding Kane. You got a lot more.
I mean, against the Congo, in a game that we know they're just going to come out defensively, why not? Why not play Bellingham and Rice in the middle of the park, and then have like Ollie Watkins underneath Kane, or Watkins ahead of Kane, and have Kane play behind Ollie Watkins.
Because that's what I would say, because Kane doesn't mind dropping deep, and so we could do something like that, but he's not going to do it. It's just for the fact that
Well, what's crazy? It's crazy to me that he refuses to play players out of position up top, but he'll bring Trevor Chalobah to play right back.
I think it's ridiculous. What I would do from the changes from this game, Rogers, he tried hard, he didn't do anything. So I'd drop his ass. I'd get Watkins in there instead. Play two up front, Bellingham behind, and I'd spring a surprise for this next game. That's what I would be doing. Because they think, okay, England, they're gonna play. If he just does what they expect, that's just ridiculous. That would be absolutely moronic. That if he's playing Anderson, Rice, and then Bellingham and Kane again, I'd be like, yes. If I was the Congo manager, I would be like, yeah, he played into my hands. This guy's a moron. So I would be switching it up. I would be going for Watkins. At least then Watkins and Kane, you have that more movement. Kane's a more penalty box striker, while you can get Watkins drifting in and out, and then it's easier for Bellingham to ping those balls into Watkins or find Kane, because he has the movement. Watkins can move people out of position. So that would be my personal opinion. Let's see what he does. And then you've got the battering ram on the bench if you need to.
And from what we've seen from the Congo, they skip the midfield anyway. Like you don't need to pack the midfield with ultra defensive guys when your opponent is not even trying to play through the midfield anyway. They're either going to hit one long and let Wissa chase, or they like to build up the sides.
They'll hit him
with
long.
Their speed.
It's as simple as that. So, and I'm not worried about the speed, because now with Kwanzaa gone, they're going to have to put Spence in there.
Have to. Like, that's the only option, unless you're going to play Trevor Chalobah, which, what?
Don't even get me started on that. Anyway,
I mean, I'm not necessarily going to be the guy that's going to tell you Jed Spence is the best thing since sliced bread, obviously, but he's left himself as that's the only option.
Chalobah, I don't even know why he's on the plane. I think even Maguire.
Yes, say it. Yes, Maguire would have been better.
Even Maguire would have been better.
Harry would have been better.
Harry would have been better. But Trent, I don't know what the hell this guy was thinking, not bringing Trent on. That's just.
The next thing that's going to do everybody's head in is John Stones will be playing right back, and all the English fans' head will explode.
No, it'll be like, look, especially with teams like that, you need someone like Trent who bombs forward, and against low block teams, he would be like on the overlap. You've seen it plenty of times when he played for Liverpool. With low block teams, he comes in extremely useful.
Yeah. Trevor Chalobah ain't doing that. That's for sure. Yeah. But it'll be very, very interesting. Of course, Congo putting in work versus Uzbekistan down in Atlanta last night to get themselves through. And I think it's going to be a spicy matchup. I don't think it's just going to be a walk like the bookies would have you think. So that one's going to be fun. Of course, Congo doing the business to get themselves through. They want to touch on Croatia, at least getting in there with the victory. But they're playing Portugal. Ugh. Oh, man. You didn't expect Croatia just have underwhelmed, I feel like. And I think they had a little bit more quality yesterday, I should say, during that game. And they're just kind of, the fact that they are still relying on experience, there's just nothing incredibly dynamic about them. And it's kind of leaves me worried. But also, so the Croatia-Portugal matchup is spicy it's two juggernauts, but it's also like, I don't know. It's tough to call. Tough to call that one.
I think Portugal will have enough to go through. I personally think that one. Because if he gets his tactics right, that's it. If he gets his tactics right, he needs.
We know that's tough to do for Roberto Martinez.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a very tactical manager. I would be playing Conceição and Leao for that game on the wings for the pace, and with Croatia they're susceptible to pace.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Ronaldo not being as mobile, you need pacey wingers in that game. Also, the midfield speaks for itself. You don't really need to.
I think this game could get bogged down in the midfield. Both teams trying to play through the middle.
Nuno Mendes, if you saw him in the last game, he was bombing forward, and I think even then he's an outlet for them. So I think even then they still got enough width and they've got enough pace. I would do what England did and just overload them on pace, simple as. And with the control that they have in midfield, okay, I'll ping it about all day now.
But can Portugal do that? Like, can they go against their, like, obviously their strength is in the middle of the pitch. Bruno, João Neves, Vitinha, etc. Can they like switch it up and focus on wings, focus on being
Vitinha and João Neves are used to playing with pacey attackers.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So they have the skill set to work to play that way. So I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about Ronaldo actually doing some fucking work. So, but apart from that, I have no issues, and I really do think if he gets his tactics right, which the idiot should be listening, but use the pace, and I think they should beat him. And that's me personally. I really don't think they can handle them if they're coming at them with Leao, Conceição, and you've got Vitinha and Neves pinging those balls out. Yeah, I don't think they've got. Yeah, they wouldn't have much of a chance. I don't.
Yeah, for me, I think Portugal should definitely edge it. I just haven't been. I've just been underwhelmed by Croatia. They did in the end beat the two teams we expected them to beat, but it hasn't been like scintillating. And we're looking at guys who are kind of coming through to pop up, and we're not expecting. Okay, we know for a fact Ivan Perisic is going to have a crazy game today. You're kind of looking for somebody to pop up, like Budimir in the last game popped up with the winner versus Panama, and he's been good in this tournament. You got Nikola Vlasic and Petar Sucic on the score sheet in this game. You're looking for guys. Obviously, we're looking at Modric to run the game, and guys like Kramaric can come in. But it's the younger guys coming through that we're looking to, and you just
Modric
don't
is
really
not
know.
going to have that game. This is the thing. Well, this is what people when they talk about this game. He's not going to have half that ball.
He's not,
because he not with the Portuguese midfield. So Modric is not going to be running things. I personally don't think, because with that high level, if you saw Real Madrid against PSG last season, was it last season or season before that? But basically, the guy didn't even touch the ball. He got PSG absolutely just So he's just gonna and midfield is one of their strengths. Croatian strengths, but that's one of their strengths is going to get negated by Portuguese strength, because the Portuguese midfield is absolutely stupid.
So last night's kind of underwhelming. So I agree with Mom here. They were underwhelming last night versus Colombia. Was that because Colombia are better and were better, or did they just
like with Colombia? You got to see you got to put it into context. The Portuguese were thinking, fine, we'll try. If not, we'll play whoever in the next round. It don't really matter to us.
That's how they got Croatia.
It doesn't really matter. I don't think they're scared of Croatia, personally, Jake.
Fair enough.
I know they've got. If it was me, I'd rather play Croatia than Congo.
Yeah, I can see it. I understand.
And or Senegal,
Yeah,
or even Ivory Coast.
The speedy African teams give you a much different prospect than Croatia does. That's for sure.
And with Portugal, it was like I don't know if they saw the game last night, but it was basically a sea of yellow. It was like a home game for them, Jake.
Yeah, it was.
So
yeah, it was.
That's why they were so bored, and they were like, Colombia was unlucky. That toenail or wherever that referee found. I mean, like, come on, man.
That was crazy. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That was definitely. It was in Miami. It was in Miami. It was always going to be a home game for Colombia.
Yeah. So it was like, are you kidding me? Like, a toe? Are you actually? When they were drawing the line, I was just like, come on, man. Now it's just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, Portugal, Croatia is in Canada, so it's probably going to be. Yeah. It was overwhelming. She's talking about my grandpa. Overwhelming yellow last night in the stadium. But Portugal, Croatia will be in Toronto, very neutral ground for those two. So we'll see what the crowd's like there, of course. But Colombia obviously going to be well supported no matter where they go. They are playing Ghana in Kansas City. So that's the actual last game of the round of 32 there. Probably going to have some support there as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure the Ghanaian witch doctors will be out as well.
Oh, yeah, Lucho, look out. Look out. Yeah. The witch doctor's coming for Luis Diaz next.
I'm sure they've spoken to some of their indigenous shamans to.
Yeah, they're probably getting all the shamans together in one big shamanic gathering, and they're all gonna do a ritual. And Colombia better look out. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Of course, Ghana managing to get through in the third place there, of course, with the win over Panama and a good draw versus England does it for them. But that's a tough matchup, Ghana versus Colombia. That should be a fun matchup, actually. Antoine Semenyo's been doing all right. And, of course, when you got the witch doctor on your side, you don't need to worry at all. Of course. And then there was – go ahead.
No, I was going to say, of course not. They've it didn't – unfortunately, it didn't work at first. Was it you who said put the reporting about the Peruvian
you showed me that, or did Lewis put that in the thing where the Peruvian guys
I think it was Lewis. Yeah, it was
the Peruvian guys lifted the curse, but we'll see. We'll definitely see on that one. But there was indeed 2 nightcaps last night, and I'm cursing myself for falling asleep. I really am. I made it to the first hydration breaks in both these last games last night. And then I went to sleep like a doofus. Algeria, Austria, 3-3. And, of course, the Iranians had their eye on this one. We're so close to making it through. What's up, SC? Hope you're well. Late drama in the Algeria-Austria game, which was interesting because they knew they needed a draw for them both to progress, right? But both teams went for it. There wasn't any of this pass it around, try to get a 0-0 result. Both these teams went for it. And we got our man Riyad Mahrez coming back from the Crypt Keeper's tail to say that he ain't dead just yet with a couple of goals. And, of course, Marko Arnautovic got on the score sheet, the main man for Austria. And Sasha Klajic, I can't say this dude's name. Klajic, whatever, comes in the 94th minute. It's literally 30 seconds left in the added time. And they added a little bit of time to the added time because of the substitution. And then Algeria score in the 91st minute. Mahrez, 91st minute. They think they've won it. Iran thinks that they're in. Austria were going home. It was the 94th minute and Austria were out. Iran were in. He makes the sub. I mean, the coach looks like an absolute genius. The coach looks like a savant, a Nostradamus style premonition, puts the guy in. 30 seconds later, scenes, absolute scenes. Austria going through. And of course, I mean, you know, as much as it's as much as you can say Donald Trump has really done Iran dirty there with the VAR call last night.
Don't get me started on that, Jake. That was a goal.
You can't fault Austria though. My point is you can't fault Austria for doing what they did, you know, to get themselves through.
No,
you know?
Of course not. You can't fault the Austrians at all. But if you look at it, that was a goal. Come on, Jake. Anyone?
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, that's all day long.
And I feel sorry for them, just for the fact that they couldn't even stay on American soil. Always have to they'd have to travel back the same day. Affected their preparations. They couldn't even 2 weeks before. They didn't know what they were doing. What was happening.
They got a raw deal. They definitely got a raw deal. And I personally don't think it's necessarily fair to punish the football team for USA and Iran being at loggerheads or whatever. Because one, we've always been at loggerhead. Like since the 50s, the West have wanted Iran's oil since the 50s, right? Why does that conflict have to spill into the football, spill into the tournament? Why, I feel like they got a really raw deal, and we should have been able, as rational beings, to separate the football team because Mehdi Taremi, the guy that's played football his whole life, is gonna bomb somebody. Like, come on, guys. Like, can we have a little bit of rational thought here? I definitely think they got a raw deal. But I also, conversely, I think they handled it probably as best as they could, as well as they could. You didn't hear any bitching and moaning from the team. They were just like, yeah, it is what it is. We got to get on with it or whatever. There's nothing we could do about it. And yeah, they definitely got a raw deal, I think, because that was a goal. That was definitely a goal last night for sure. And FIFA might be some kind of apology, but Iran can tell FIFA to shove that sorry up their ass.
He's not going to do it for them.
You could shove it right up your ass, FIFA.
It's a World Cup. It comes out every 4 years. And when Iranians now are going to remember this World Cup, they're just going to say, we got a raw deal. So,
and that's sad, of course, but celebrations for Algeria, celebrations for Austria, two teams that we obviously didn't really expect much from in this tournament, but they've supplied an absolute barnstormer of a World Cup classic match. And let's see where that leaves them. Austria, Austria plays Spain.
Yeah.
Hey, at least they're going through. They're happy to be there. They're getting to represent the nation. But Spain. Woof.
And then Algeria are playing Switzerland, which is not
a gift. Oh my goodness. Oh man. So Austria rescue the tournament in the dying seconds, the dying embers of the last group game, just to play Spain, and Algeria get to play Switzerland.
But you guys have. I was like, when we were talking yesterday, I was like you were saying, oh yeah, you're playing Congo, and I was like, Congo's not not an easy game. I would compared to say the Americans, when you guys are playing Bosnia, on paper it's an easier game, or even the Australians when they're playing Egypt. Egypt are not as good as the previous World Cup. So Congo are not a team I'm really thrilled to play against in the next round. So,
man, Argentina really got the Arsenal draw, didn't they, for this bracket? Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh damn. their quarter
Yeah, they got
of
Cabo Verde out there. Yeah,
their
so.
quarter of the bracket is just like what? I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but the Colombia Argentina quarterfinal looks a little bit likely.
That looks like locked in. That looks locked in.
Yeah, that looks likely. Big up Cape Verde, big up Australia, Egypt, Switzerland, Algeria, and Ghana every single time, of course. But yeah, I mean, that looks a little bit like it's nailed on already. And the English, man, you guys have a tough road as well. Because like we've been discussing, Congo's not just going to lay down. And then you're probably playing Mexico in Azteca. I don't know that you'll win that. I'm not sure that England will beat Mexico at the Azteca.
Any whistle is going to go against you, the Azteca, more or less. So unless you have to play and beat them by a country mile. So
yeah, I don't know that's going to be tough. Think
one good thing about Mexico is they don't play defensively.
Right. Yeah, so, that's fair.
I think that's the only positive I can take from that.
That might be the most hostile game, the most hostile environment that England's played in for quite some time.
Yep, that's going to be rough.
Of course, we can't overlook Ecuador. Mexico still have to go through Ecuador, and that's gonna be a fun game. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think it's going to be
in a couple of days.
I think there's going to be goals in that game, but I think Mexico will go through with home advantage, etc. I think,
yeah, you got to expect that. The other half of that quarter of the bracket, the other eighth of that bracket is spicy. Brazil, Japan, and Ivory Coast, Norway.
That's the match I'm most looking forward to. One of the 3 matches I'm most looking forward to is the Japan-Brazil game. The Morocco-Netherlands game is going to be another one.
That's going to be beautiful. That's going to be beautiful.
I think they're both on the same day. So,
are they? Are they on the same day? They are. Yes, good call. They absolutely are.
So that's gonna be ready for the day tomorrow.
That's gonna be amazing. Argentina kind of got a gift with their bracket, their road, but the rest of the bracket looks pretty spicy, man. USA, obviously we got Bosnia, but then we're probably playing
on a collision course, aren't they?
No, Spain and Portugal actually. I mean, if you want to go as far as the semifinal, yeah. If you want to go as far as the semifinal, it'll be France, Spain. Presumably, right?
Presumably, Portugal could, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to, and again, I'm not counting chickens, but if USA can beat the Bosnia, which is what we're expecting, the winner of Belgium and Senegal.
I tell you the truth. Belgium, I would not be scared of Belgium if I were in the US.
I'm not. I'm absolutely
Senegal, yes. Senegal have got some pace, and that's going to cause you problems.
Yeah, we have some pace as well, but I think Senegal would, I don't know. Actually, to be honest with you, I think it's for different reasons. I think it's kind of comparable. I think Senegal would be really tough as far as dealing with their speed and their pace, and of course you got Mane up top.
If you beat Senegal, but I think you might be able, with home advantage, you might be able to do it. So if you get past them, who would you get?
If we get past Belgium or Senegal, we're playing probably Spain or Portugal. And that's probably where the road is. That's
where you probably most likely get knocked out, Jake.
That's where I in my pre-tournament predictions, I had us going out in the quarterfinal to Spain, which is reasonable, right? But that eighth of the bracket is not necessarily, because Portugal play Croatia and then Spain play Austria.
I think the Spanish will get past them.
Yeah, you would expect Spain to kind of get through those 3 teams. Austria
play like what do you call
like
it?
this right here. Park the bus, play for penalties. What's up, Mr. Marmite? Hope you're well.
With them, they'll park the bus I mean, they'll play high pressing football. Ragnick always does. So I think that will play into Spain's tiki-taka football.
That'll suit Spain. Yeah. And then the other fourth of the bracket is spicy as well. Obviously, we mentioned Netherlands and Morocco, but it looks like France and Germany are on a collision course in the round of 16. But of course, we can't count.
That would be fun for the Germans.
Wow. It won't be fun for anybody to face France. Speaking of, I feel for my man Victor. My man Gyökeres is I just obviously
no, it's fine.
I want to cheer for my man. I want to cheer for him, but
as an Arsenal supporter, I'd be like, I'm happy he can get back home, he can get on his holidays, he can be fit and firing for the new season. If I was you guys, I'd be like, yes, at least I don't have to rely on Kai for the new season. At least he'll be home before then. So
the thing is, it's looking like France are just going to knock out all my guys. Sweden's going to go out, and then I guess I have to claim Kai Havertz, so he's going to go out after in the next round.
If Norway, I'm just trying to find out if who Norway play if they get through, because they are my dark horse.
Norway are in. They'll play Brazil if they get through. If Norway beat Ivory Coast, they're going to play Brazil or Japan.
I think,
and then if Norway get through to the quarterfinal, it's you, buddy. If you beat Mexico, if England beat Mexico in the round of 16, and Norway managed to get past Brazil, so your quarterfinal matchup is probably Brazil or Norway, supposing you make it. Woof. Whoa.
I'd rather play Norway.
Yeah, you definitely rather play. Norway. I mean, Rafinha's out.
We've got more experience playing against Haaland as well. So
yeah, Konsa and all your defenders know very. I mean, Gay, he's played with him in practice every day for 6 months. So I mean, yeah,
Stones as well.
Yep. I mean, and Konsa's played against him. I tend to agree with this, that the problem with Norway is, can they defend well enough to keep Vinny out, to keep Rafinha's gone, isn't he? So is Endrick gonna play? I don't know. All those memes about Carlo and Endrick is hilarious.
Carlo and Endrick, yeah, that's a totally.
Well, I don't know
for some reason. So
I have no idea what that's about. Yeah, leftover from the Real Madrid days, I guess.
Won't defeat France won't defeat Germany. My words. Okay.
France. SC's been on. He's been consistent. SC's been consistent with this since the beginning of the tournament. That France are overrated. France are not going to beat Germany. He said it the whole time. He said it the whole time.
I have to
disagree. And he's got backup. He's got some backup right here. Germany going to beat France apparently.
Defense. I think the midfield, yes, might be average, but the defense is not with Saliba and yeah.
The problem with my thing about France is who's stopping them. I'll wait.
I can't see Germany outscoring them.
France is going to score at least 3 goals in every game. Who's going to keep them out? Exactly.
Germans, like I say, I never
exactly.
They are favourites at the moment, but I never count out the Germans in any tournament. They are.
You can't count them out, but I mean, I can't see.
But if anyone knows
keeping France out,
Olise, for example, then you've got a point because he plays. If anyone knows Olise, it's the German team, and we'll see. There's some interesting matches. With France's firepower, though, you can't. I struggle to see anyone keeping at least keeping a clean sheet against them.
That quarterfinal looks like it's probably going to be whoever wins between Morocco and Netherlands.
What are the Germans playing? If they get through, they probably most likely get through.
Exactly. So if Germany beat France, as SC says, they'll probably in their quarterfinal be playing. Whoever wins Netherlands and Morocco, you expect to beat whoever wins Canada, South Africa. And so that would be the quarterfinal. So It's France or Germany versus Netherlands or Morocco is what we kind of expect from that side of the bracket there.
Yeah, I think.
And then after that, it's like if USA shocks Spain, it'll be USA France in the semifinal. You probably expect Spain or Portugal to be in that semifinal versus France. There's no one, man. There's nobody stopping them. Nobody are stopping France, dude. It's just not happening.
I think the Germans could put a roadblock. They're the only team, I think.
SC wants to drop Neuer. I think it might. Maybe not versus Paraguay. Maybe not versus or maybe you do. Maybe you do drop him versus Paraguay to get the next guy the time and the
when you were talking about Germany playing France, I can see with like the speed of thought of and like them hitting those balls, and I can't see Neuer in it when he was 10 years ago. Yes, I would have seen him being big against France, but I can't really see him keeping out the way he's playing, keeping out France. And he's good for a mistake now.
Yeah. Yep. Can't tear teams playing against minnows. Yep. So, what that leaves as far as our show this morning is the game that's going on today. South Africa getting through by the skin of their teeth. You can't rate teams. Okay, I see what you're saying, Marma. I understand what you're saying here. Yeah, it's tough to rate how teams do when they're playing against teams far inferior to them.
Yeah,
I hear it. Yeah, but South Africa playing Canada today. Interesting matchup. Interesting matchup.
I've got the Canadians for this one.
I think Nez just texted me. Nez just texted in the chat. No worries, man. Anyways, Algeria killed his sleep, he says. Yeah. It's interesting because Canada are somewhat wasteful, but they do create chances. And South Africa are very speedy on the break. They're resilient too. They hung in there in both of their games.
I
mean, you have to give them props and a little bit of momentum after an absolute disaster in the first game versus Mexico, and they've turned it around to be able to go through, and now it's another host they have to play. But because Canada didn't win their group, it's in California. It's not in Canada. It's at SoFi.
Okay.
So it will be a little bit less of home field advantage. It's not in Vancouver or Toronto, but I still think Canada are going to have too much.
If you're going to push comes to shove, I think, I would rate the Canadians as little slight favorites, very slight favorites.
Especially since Alphonso Davies looking like he's going to be healthy enough to start. Panama anytime playing is a good match. And it's looking like Alphonso Davies will be ready to go. Kyle Larin has pushed his way into the starting lineup. Jonathan David looked good in their last match. Yeah, I think Canada probably going to have a bit too much. But it is knockout football. It is what we love. The World Cup elimination games are the best. Is there anything better? And so it's going to be spicy for sure. South Africa are going to be up for it. They got the speed, of course, and it's just going to come down to who for South Africa. If they're going to make it through, they got to find a hero. You got to find that guy that's going to come in and do the business and get the goals. That's the issue, I feel like, for South Africa. They haven't necessarily lit up the world offensively, and they've been a little bit shaky at the back. So I do expect Canada to have chances. It'll just be all about this game's going to come down to, can Canada find their scoring boots? Are they going to be able to finish today?
No, I expect them to win. And South Africa haven't really impressed me this tournament. So
Yeah, the only thing impressive about South Africa really is that they bounced back from an absolutely torrid first game. And it was skin of their teeth stuff, because if they hadn't have scored that 96th minute winner versus Czechia, they'd be out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is why they haven't really impressed me. And I don't think. Yeah, I think the Canadians should have too much from.
And for me, hey, what's up, Nez? What's up, Nez? Yeah, that's it. This is football. What a first phase. Yeah, love it. Love it. I think that the biggest thing in South Africa's last game was that Korea kind of shit the bed. Korea weren't at it in that last game versus South Africa. I was kind of shocked. And it cost Korea the tournament. It cost them their tournament lives, unfortunately. And
I wasn't expecting too much from Korea anyway. So,
oh man, Mr. Marmite coming for Lewis, coming for Nez. That's funny. Go ahead, Asif. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Mr. Marmite. Yeah, you're right. The guy's just not on time. He's not punctual like us Brits. So.
Shots fired. He's not even here.
Shots
absolutely fired.
And there's knows what I'm like.
Yeah.
Going back on the subject. I wasn't expecting much from the Koreans compared to like the Japanese, for example. I think they are going to give. I could even see Japan knocking them out of the tournament. I could actually see that.
Yeah. That'd be wild.
I wouldn't be surprised if Japan actually knock them out of the tournament.
That'd be crazy.
Brazil out. I'm the way they played, they actually played really well, and I could see that if he plays Casemiro in midfield and he plays, I could actually see that happening.
That's wild. I love the memes. About nice one, Nez. Nice one. I love the memes about the Japanese coach who is like, Brazil aren't ready for this guy in his death notes because he's always writing down notes on his thing.
Writing on notes, but I have a lot of I like Japanese, how they play, the fans, everyone. I think they're very respectful people. I haven't seen much from Brazil that would make me say, wow.
Yeah,
they're not the team of old. They play more like a European team than they do actually play.
Well, that's because they all play in Europe.
Yeah, but
even Carlo is a very European coaching style.
Of course, but I'm not a fan of it. As in, like, it's they don't have the Hugo Bonito anymore.
Right.
They don't have that flair in the play. Just none of them really now, apart from when Neymar was fit, who would like, wow, this guy's good with the flicks and the tricks, etc. That's what you've not seen. What Rivaldo, Kaká, that era of players.
Yeah, man, I understand for sure. We haven't seen anybody like Ronaldinho make Brazil Brazilian again. That's funny.
That is true. Make Brazil instead
absolutely.
Of make America great again. Make Brazil Brazilian again. That's a good one.
The MBBA, yeah. Nez, I don't have a clue what you're talking about right here. I don't have any clue what you're talking about right here. The XP stuff. No clue. But yeah, I do think one last thing we can mention is that moving forward in this tournament, the in-game management, the ability for managers to, tactically adjust and whatnot is going to be very, very important. That's fair. That's fair, Nez. I don't think the Brazilians definitely aren't going to care as long as they go through. That's for sure. They're not really going to care about
it. Brazilians are their mentality. They obviously they care if they win, but if they brought up on playing a certain style, and if they're playing another style, they'll be like Arsenal supporters, for example. I'm going to use you as an example. You won the league and you're like, yes, but you would have preferred winning the league in the Wenger way, and then compared to the Arteta way.
Sure.
So
Shout out Ronaldinho.
Sure.
Yep. There is a little bit of this. There is a little bit of, and that's the thing. And what's interesting about this is you can put this in tandem with the fact that they're not as good as we've seen, and they're haven't been as good as we've seen in a while in our lifetime, I'm saying, and maybe it is because they're not playing Brazilian football and they kind of aren't, the Jogo Benito's a little bit gone, and maybe that's why they're not as good. Hey, Mara, we all demand Brazilian football. Yep, gotta have it.
You gotta have it. I love watching like Brazil before. I don't know about most people of a certain age. Everyone's second team in the World Cup was Brazil because of the way they played. And I don't see that Brazil anymore. That's just
right. I don't wear other teams' jerseys like ever. It's USA and Arsenal. I don't wear anything else. I don't let anything else hang in my closet. No, I'm just making a point. I'm making a point. I don't normally do that. I had an R9 Brazil jersey from 2002.
Exactly.
Of course I did. Who didn't? Who didn't?
Like Newcastle with Kevin Keegan. Newcastle was when he was there, and then there was Andy Cole. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Andy Cole was playing up front, and they had Peter Beardsley. They were playing entertaining football. Ginola, and everyone's second team in England was Newcastle at that time because they played, and Romario, Bebeto, that's what I'm talking about. They had some brilliant players. So. Yeah, that's something I'm personally missing from this World Cup. But
well, if they want to do white men can jump and prefer to look at it and lose instead of look bad and win, they can embrace the silver and ask what if. Nez, you're always reasonable. You're always keeping it reasonable when I like to be crazy and say crazy things. He likes to bring it back down with. Hey, Nez, unfortunately for you, Nez, it looks like you can take the tinfoil hat off. Argentina and Portugal.
You messed that up.
Argentina and Portugal can only meet in the final.
Yeah, so that the tinfoil actually missed on that occasion, and you've been talking about that since.
Mom, I just mentioned it. Mom, I just told the world that I had an R9 jersey, that yellow Ronaldo jersey from 2002. Maybe go back and find a picture of that. Yeah. It's still there, he says. So Nez has Portugal and Argentina in the final.
Is that what you're saying, Nez?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That's the only way they can meet. So that means Argentina. That means Argentina are beating his beloved Colombia. I agree. I'm not convinced they're going to beat Croatia, to be honest with you. And they might be going home real soon, and Ronaldo will be crying.
That's my personal opinion. I think they'll come through.
Yeah.
Against Croatia,
fair enough.
I think they'll come through.
Fair enough. Well, we are entering the second phase of the tournament. The round of 32 does kick off today with South Africa and Canada. It's absolutely going to be it's been an amazing tournament so far, and I'm pumped for the rest of it. Of course, Nez still bigging up the Knicks, I think. Is this what it is? Luka Kovac. Oh, no, he's talking about Croatia. Talking about Croatia. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that's not a foregone conclusion there. It's going to be a fun game.
No. I think it'll be a hard game. I just think, on my point of view, it'll most likely be Portugal. I'm not saying it's going to definitely be, but yeah, that's my.
Yeah.
Croatia, I think they'll be found out against a higher level of opposition.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Super wrong about Bruno. Yes, you were. Bruno is not. He's not having the tournament to go with the season he's just had in the Premier League. That's for sure. And I blame Roberto Martinez.
My boy Mbappe is doing it. He's doing the.
I don't even want to calculate the points right now. I don't even want to calculate because Mbappe is so far ahead of the rest of us. That's what I get for giving United players a chance. Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. Boo.
But
He
Norway,
says.
Norway, I got through. No, my dark horse have got through as well. So and
Yeah, I think you
my
might be
picks-
crushing the predictions league right now. I think you might be crushing our predictions game. And now it's become a Manchester United hate session. And I'm always okay with that. I'm always okay with that to end the show. Of course, that always and I'm sure you are as well, Asif. I'm sure you're
I've got no love
more
for
than
them.
happy. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, anyway, I think we'll wrap it up right there. It's definitely been a good show, and it's going to be an amazing rest of the tournament, of course. So make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're subscribing. We certainly would appreciate that. Of course, big up the chat every single time. And yeah, the World Cup facts, 3 facts videos, they're all out there. Make sure you are Blue Moon Homer from this point forward. Yeah, make sure you have the notification bell on. England are going to win it's coming home, apparently. Make sure that, you're checking those out. The whole series, all 48 nations have been posted. My 3 facts on each nation, they're out there. So make sure you're checking that out. Make sure Foot Mob is sponsoring. Big up Foot Mob. Hopefully you guys can sponsor the pod someday. Nez has been calling for it. Essie's enjoyed the show. We certainly appreciate that, of course. I hope the rest of you have as well. Big up Mr. Marmite and everyone else in the chat as well, of course. Thanks again for being here. We'll end on Suck It, Scotland, and you will see us next time.